everyone, my name is Rachel Behling and I am the program and outreach person for the Fashion History Museum in Cambridge, Ontario. And today I am in Guelph visiting my friend Annette Graydon of Tontaque Review.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Welcome. I'm good. I'm pleased to see you. Wow. Welcome to my studio.
Thank you for having us here today.
No problem.
Look at all the color. I'm already inspired.
I'm somewhat into color.
I think so. Take a spin around.
I can do monochromatic, so
good.
Yeah.
I think this is perfect in these times.
Naughty jacket.
It's great.
Naughty jacket.
Well, thank you so much for having us here today.
Well, thanks for asking me.
Oh, I can't wait to be inspired. So I just would love to hear your story.
Sure.
How long have you been doing this?
I have been sewing forever. I started when I was a kid. My grandmother was a seamstress and taught me how to sew.
Okay.
And I have always either made my own clothes or remade my own clothes. Grandmother sewed for me.
Okay.
Like she made a lot of my clothes. We didn't have a lot of money, and so I would want the latest whatever, and bless her heart, she would make it for me. So I was very, very fortunate, very fortunate. And then in high school I took home ec and I learned to sew properly, and I loved it and made a lot of my clothes in high school.
So I would love for you to just walk us through
Sure.
your studio and show us some of your inspiration.
Okay, this is a trucker jacket. This is your basic.
So are you talking about the silhouette? Is it trucker? Okay.
Yeah. So your basic, what you would think of as a blue jean jacket, is called a trucker jacket.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure there's a history about why likely truckers wore them. Who knows? Anyway, that's my favorite jeans cut, although I'm partial to all denim. So this is my jacket. This is one that the base piece is a quilted garment from a wearable artist called Gypsy Moth. Okay. She's just recently retired, I think. It was a vest. It belonged to a friend of mine, and it was worn, completely worn under the arms. She had loved it to death, and I said, if you ever want to get rid of it. So she said, you can have it. So I said, I'm cutting it up. And I love buttons. I love leather. That's another one of my fetishes.
No, but that's a great use of leather.
I have a lot of leather scraps, and I have always collected fabric and bits of things. So, I had a lot to work with during COVID. I had a lot of stuff to work with.
Great. So speaking of bits and pieces and scraps of things, look at this. So organized.
It's organized chaos, is what it is. But I do know where everything is. But when I am looking for something, it inevitably ends up everywhere, because I never can find that one thing. But I had made an attempt a few months ago to organize and label, so I did my best. Anyway, when I cut up a jacket, which I often do, cut off the cuff that's there and put a new cuff on, because I think that's interesting. I save all the cuffs. I do quite often cut the pocket flap off if it bugs me for whatever reason, and I save all that too. Pockets from jeans, save them and reuse them. I like the seams, like all of it. It's all good. It's all good. It's all usable. I like to work with cotton, linen, natural fiber. I don't silk not that great with denim. Some double knits are amazing. Great. T-shirt material for sure.
Okay. If
it's a good cotton t-shirt. Anything that has too much spandex in it, it's really hard to work with. Same with jeans. If there's a little bit of spandex, it's okay. I can use that. And spandex in a jacket is good. Okay. it helps with but it means you just have to be careful sewing things on. I have a bunch of bins. So beside my sewing machine, beside my serger, the serger is the key to the whole operation.
Okay.
I serge all the edges so they're raw.
Okay.
I serged that piece on the sewing table this morning, and it's pinned in place for me to sew on. So when I get the bits from the serger, they go into one basket. Sometimes they're bigger than others. The bigger pieces, if I think I can make crazy quilt squares with them, I put them in one basket.
Great.
And when I'm feeling the mood, because it's very cathartic for me to make crazy quilt squares. I start with a piece, whatever size, and just sit by the serger. I serge them all together in whatever, and they organically grow into something.
A piece of art.
Yeah, I don't really think about it too hard. I just put them all together and they kind of form their own beauty.
So tell me about this.
I just got this jacket, which is a Levi's jacket in plaid.
Really?
It's plaid denim.
I've never seen that
Me
before.
neither, and I completely loved it.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, that has to have something special. So I made the crazy quilt back. My sister is a knitter, and she gives me her yarn bits. So I crochet. So I crocheted some flowers, and this was, again, I cut this off a jacket because there was too much stuff going on this jacket, so I took that off and kept them.
You never know,
Because I knew
right?
they'd be good for something. So they're on the back, because I think the yoke should always have something on it too. I met another artist here in Guelph who makes coats out of quilts. It's quite a trend right now, and I love the trend. And I had thought I would make one for myself, and so I bought a quilt and then I thought, I'm not going to do it. it's too fiddly for me to make. But I did hook up with her, and I asked her if she would do a collaboration, and she was quite keen. So I knew I wanted to do it with this jacket. It turned out to be a men's jacket. So even though it's long, it's a longer cut. It's narrow in the hips and wide in the shoulders, which is how a man's body is. And so it wasn't going to work great for a woman, but it was perfect to split the seam, put the quilt in, and make it longer, like a chore coat. Like, I also really like chore coats, barn coats.
This is as great coming as it is walking away,
For
right? When you walk away,
Sure.
this has sass.
I think the back of the jacket is, because you forget you're wearing it. I forget I have a naughty word on my back, but people say they stop me, and the cuffs are for me. The cuffs are because you see them every time you do something. It's fun to have a cuff, but the backs are for everybody else.
Well, it's the story, right? It's
Yeah.
the story. Do you sew for all ages? And
I do.
do you? Speaking of children's pieces, look at this. Oh my goodness. Look at that kitten.
That one is, I think, 0 to 3 months?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
So what's the
Adorable.
story of this?
My niece was pregnant last year, and we knew she was having a girl, and I thought I should do a jacket. I did I think 3 to 6 month size for her. Her little jacket had a massive bow right here, took up the whole.
Oh,
I know, it was completely adorable, and then I just did the rest from that. And I thought, you know what? I think they're adorable, and I love working on them. They're so fun because the sky is the limit. It doesn't matter. There's nothing that's too. There's little Dr. Seuss print on here,
so cute.
and you can use the teeny tiniest scraps up. Little button. That's a rocking horse button. Yeah. So I just thought, I have granddaughters, 3 of them, so they all, of course, got jackets. So this one I made that one too. The back. Come on, look at the back.
Look at that.
I got that fringe stuff. These crazy cats.
Oh, I have 2
So
crazy
cute.
cats at home that would love the tassel.
Yeah.
Oh, so cute.
This one's a little more fancy. Starts out with some fancy French poodles.
But what a great idea. Can you imagine if you had like a little flower girl or attendant? You just incorporate this into
There
part
is
of her look.
another trend at the moment, which I'm loving, which is denim jackets for brides. I have 2 actually on order that I'm doing denim jackets for brides. So lots of pearl buttons along the yoke, and then they wear the denim jacket over their dress for photos, which I think is so fun.
It's a great idea.
It
And
is
what
a
a
great
great
idea.
keepsake for their day.
And then embroider the date of the wedding on the inside cuff.
Great
which is
idea.
kind of fun.
So you take commissions then. So if
For
somebody
sure.
is looking for something
Yeah.
specific for an event, like a wedding,
Yep.
or for somebody special in their life.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
The memory thing, I like that. I
Yeah.
like that. If you have a denim jacket that you love, but you just want to zhuzh it up.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I've got some at home. I think I'm going to be bringing to you. Can people find you on Instagram or
I
Facebook?
am on Instagram,
Okay.
Tunta Q Review. I'm also on Facebook, same,
Okay.
Tunta Q Review.
Okay. So that's how people can hunt you down.
Sure,
And-
message me.
And the orders will come flooding in, but I get to go first, so you all have to wait. In terms of where you get your materials, where do you source?
So a lot of it just finds its way to me.
Okay.
I just recently helped a friend empty her mom's storage locker. She was a collector of fashion and she didn't throw anything out. And so some of it could be salvaged to be resold, but a lot of it sadly did not. I'm happy with that because I can cut it up, I can sew it onto something else and it'll just get reused that way. So
That's a new life. And I love that you collaborate with so many other artists.
that is fun. I do really enjoy that. And
Yeah.
I'm inspired by a lot of artists for sure. We're all inspired by each other.
Right.
And our inspiration comes from like everywhere. So I take bits of what other people do and what I love about what they do, and I kind of mash it together into what feeds me.
Right.
Yeah, I do love this. I mean, it was really COVID that got me back here in the sewing room. I had this surgery. It was my aunt's, and she's still alive, but her eyesight went, and she was a beautiful seamstress, and she couldn't sew anymore, so she gave it to me. But I was a bit afraid of it. So I remember probably a few weeks into the first lockdown, way back in 2020. I made myself a cup of coffee. I came down with the book and I sat down. I thought, I can do this. I'm going to learn how to use that. So I was so afraid of it. And I did. I'm not a detail sewer. I don't do fine work. I don't do fancy seams, or I can't. I'm just not. That's not my thing. But
Right.
this whole rip torn trend is totally me.
So let's see some of these
Okay.
beautiful
Let's
creations.
just quick. This one was a beautiful piece of embroidery that was gifted to me by Bonnie, actually, Bonnie Glass. And I thought, yes, that's a jacket. This one was a t-shirt, Cat Wants Out.
Love
That's Stuart Cat. This one, again, I did a lot of buttons on that and some ribbon, just experimenting with different things there. More embroidery bits. These were napkins, but they had great, daydreams, blue sky, color.
Love.
The shirt, back of the shirt,
Great.
for sure, right?
Yeah.
Take it to the market.
Great.
Here's the printed, it's already printed. There's a piece of fabric I got from the Fashion History Museum at their last sale.
That's for the shoe person in your
Yeah,
life.
I have more shoes, so I can put more on.
Oh,
That's another printed. Change the
gorgeous.
buttons.
buttons.
I do love buttons. This was a whole remake. This is a really old, this was a retro jacket from a Japanese from the 70s or the 80s maybe. Anyway, I found the jacket. It was really nipped in bomber style,
Okay.
not wearable, but I cut that part off and
look at
and
this.
added. Yeah.
That's every little piece.
Yeah, everything tells a story. These are reversible. This is a Bonnie mashup. That's a Bonnie Glass mashup. She had a jacket returned to her that had had a good life, and it was too beat up for her to sell on consignment. So I took it and cut it up, and I'm telling you that I sweat a bit that day. I did. But I did it with her blessing, and I'm really proud of this one. I quite like it. This was another experiment. It came with the pleat, so I thought I could probably try that.
Yes.
That was another experiment. I can make flowers now. This jacket came with the bejeweled birds, so I just made it better.
With even more.
There's another one.
Oh, great.
This one came with the beautiful buttons,
You
and I
just-
left them on because I pulled the colors from the buttons. This corduroy, I have worn this jacket quite a lot. It may not be for sale any longer because I'm pretty sure I can't.
Oh,
Right?
right.
It's truth.
That's great.
Total truth. That's my barn coat look. I love barn coats. This is a trench. This is my coat. This is my barn coat. Whenever I'm inspired by something, I pull this out and put another piece on it. This one is just another adaptation of that. I cut off the collar and reshaped the bottom. And one of my favorite artists from Aurelia, Beth from Hip Chick. She does a lot of these t-shirt dresses, and during COVID, I thought, I'm going to try one because I really wanted to use that. It fit me better doing a different way, and I have made several of these for friends. I don't sell them. So that's just something I do for me because I like it. And there's my grade 9 jeans into a purse, which I still have.
See how long these things last? Well, thank you
There you go.
so much
You're welcome.
for showing us your studio today, sharing your passion and your exponential creativity.
I'm happy to share it and talk about it.
Thank you so much, Annette.
You're welcome.